Let everybody who is purified from an unjust life and who is eager for doing sacred deeds look into the face of gods without fear, and let them follow the auspicious traces of the happy. Because of their respectfulness towards us, let them find a good way of life in accordance with their hopes. Near the eyes and ears of gods, let them fulfill their vows and sacrifices as being their duties. During sunset, all the mythological gods of East and West, from Heraclius to Apollon, from Zeus to the goddess come again, gather in the sacred place of the godlike king Antiochus. As they send him to his eternal resting place upon his will, they promise to watch him over, to protect his treasure, and to whisper the mysteries of gods to everybody who is ever friend or foe. In spite of all the wars between immortal gods and mortal human beings since the earth's coming into existence, King Antiochus has this monument built at a height of 2,150 meters, where gods and humans are most close to each other to give thanks to gods. The past becomes the future by the miraculous color changes during sunset. The first place of settlement where Malatya had initially been founded is the Aslantepe tumulus located in Orduzu, at 7 kilometers northeast of today's Malatya. These remains show that a city government had been founded here about 6,000 years ago, and then the place hosted a Hittite city government. The tumuli preserve the history in a better way than the current preservation techniques. The guardians of time, Aslantaşlar, give an appearance of an open-air museum to Malatya and the surroundings. The historical remains in the lands, which had been under the sovereignty of Assyrians, Eurasians, Cappadocians, Commagenians, Romans, Byzantines, and Arabs, are in a very shambolic state because of their age and because of the disastrous wars they had experienced. But still, the Malatya Museum is full of invaluable pieces that can be found in no other place. The defender lines of the Aslantepe, which were extracted from the tumulus during the archaeological works before the foundation of the Malatya Museum, and the statues belonging to King Tarhunza are exhibited in the Ankara Archaeology Museum. The roads are furnished with elegant bridges to provide for comfortable traveling with the visitors. In addition to this historical wealth, there are the mosques, madrasas, khans, and hammams, each being a work of art of the Seljuks. They embroider Malatya as well as the whole Anatolian land. The land was added to the Ottoman Empire during Yavuz Sultan Selim's military expedition to Egypt in 1517. Then Malatya got even more beautiful by the addition of turquoise blue to the green of his land, by the mansions, the buildings, bridges, kümbets, and by the handwritten books of the Ottoman culture. Along its long history, Malatya caused wars among kings, having the desire of gaining her because of her strategic location, her closeness to the Silk Road, her fruitful land among high mountains, having been named as Maldia, Melitia, Melide, Melita, Malatya, and for the last 3,500 years as Malatya. According to a legend, there's a saint which sleeps in Zubahan, wakes up once a year, and asks the people he sees, "Is the Malatya savannah plowed with golden plows?" And then goes back to sleep if he is answered negatively. We cannot know whether the fields may ever be plowed with golden plows, but Malatya is quite rich of water sources, and its wealth increases by the help of the dams built during the development efforts in Turkey after the 60s. While a drop of water enlivens a lifeless apricot, it is impossible not to understand the capacity of Malatya in hosting various green civilizations. Malatya waterfalls overflow their weirs, and the dry savannas meet water after a yearning for centuries. The Levant Valley has been embroidered by the nature with patience out of the reach of people's sight, and it will have an important place in Turkey's tourism as well as in Malatya's in the future. Malatya and the people of Malatya look at the future hopefully by their high savannas, waters, green valleys, and by the mountains guarded by gods. By its flora, its flowers, its warm breeze in the evenings, the climate changes, everywhere becomes Mediterranean. From a far side, Malatya is viewed as a typical Anatolian city, but as the time goes by, it gains the sight of a modern city. The economy mainly depends on agriculture. Modern techniques are used almost all over Malatya. When the name Malatya is mentioned, the first thing that is recalled is the Kervanbaşı type of apricot. Apricot production develops as a sector. 5,000 years ago, apricot departed from its motherland, which covered Turkmenistan, Central Asia, Western China, and chose Malatya as its second country. Apricot, the yellow gold of Malatya, has shared the destiny of the Turks, following their way to Anatolia. The apricots are watered with care like flowers. Then they are picked one by one, manually, from their green branches, and processed delicately in the honeyed hands of young girls. Apricot has place in the dining tables of all the people who know about its contributions to health, beauty, and longevity. It is found in the markets all over the world, from Europe to America and from America to the Far East, labeled as Üretim Yeri Malatya, or as Made in Turkey. Besides apricot production, commercial growing of hothouse flowers, vegetables, and fruits has begun to spread over Malatya. The motherland of the world-famous Dalbastı kirazı is also Malatya. Festivals and contests are arranged in the name of this cherry. The Malatyans, who used to do agricultural work, have also adopted fishery in a short time. The racehorse breeding center of Turkey. There are thoroughbred Arab colts in Sultansuyu, like the record-breaking horses Kanatlı, Dost Karaca, and Türkmen Bey, which race against the wind and rainstorms behind. The Sultansuyu Stud Farm was initially founded to raise horses for the Ottoman army and to provide food for the palace. Today, besides being a place for raising horses, Sultansuyu is also a research and application center for developing modern agricultural techniques. The organized industry zone, the door of Malatya, opening to the world, which is to provide a migration back to Malatya, having stopped the outward migration from Malatya in recent years. Industrialization, the struggle to do the best for the country. The textile sector is an important branch of industry in Malatya. This sector was initiated in the Ottoman period by the looms in Yeşilyurt, especially, and is transformed into today's modern factories. In Malatya, there is a colorful and vivid commercial life. Coppersmiths' works and shoemaking still continue today as traditional handicrafts. The traditional social life in Malatya is transforming into a dynamic and productive social structure.
The biggest aid to this transformation process is provided by İnönü University, established in the year 1975.
The Turgut Özal Medical Center serves the whole East Anatolian region as well as Malatya. The people of Malatya consider it very important that the youth receives a good education and try to provide the best conditions for their future. Malatya, with its rich history, folklore, handicrafts, and colorful cultural mosaic, is the smallest cell of Turkey that comprises the whole. Malatya and Malatya prepared for your comfort as you reach and accommodate in Malatya to taste its historical and cultural beauties. Come and see Malatya. Give yourself the chance of discovering about the east of our country, witnessing the history, geography, and the great changes there. Mount Nemrut can be visited taking the road from Malatya. You can understand why it's called as the Mountain of Gods, as you witness there the miraculous color variations in a mystical atmosphere during sunset or sunrise, accompanied with a friendly group of people coming from all over the world.